There was a time when a man's worth was measured by what he could do, not what he looked like. It was a warm afternoon in 1972, in a small martial arts school tucked between two noodle shops in Hong Kong. The gym smelled of sweat, with polish and ambition. Students trained hard every day under the sharp eyes of their master, Chen Wei, a man who had dedicated 40 years of his life to Wing Chun Kung Fu. Chen Wei was not a cruel man, but he had a rule. Strangers who walked through his door uninvited were not welcome, especially strangers who looked ordinary. That afternoon, the door opened. A young man walked in wearing simple black trousers and a plain white shirt. He was lean, not bulky. He had calm, quiet eyes and a relaxed smile. He carried no weapons, no trophies, no papers of introduction. Master Chen looked at him and thought, "Who is this boy?" He started training at age 7, standing barefoot on cold stone floors, punching wooden dummies until his knuckles bled. By the time he was 20, he had already won regional competitions. By 40, his name was known across the martial arts world of Hong Kong. His school had trained hundreds of students. Former students were now police officers, bodyguards, professional fighters, and security chiefs. His reputation was simple and unquestioned. Chen Wei did not lose. The gym itself reflected his pride. Certificates covered the walls. Trophies stood on shelves. A large painted banner above the entrance read, "Only the strong deserve to stand here." When the young man walked in that afternoon, Chen Wei's senior student, a muscular man named Deming, immediately stepped forward. "This is a private school," Deming said firmly. "Who sent you? What do you want?" The young man smiled gently. "I heard this is a great school. I just came to learn." Deming laughed. "To learn? Look at you. You look like you've never trained a day in your life. This place is not for beginners off the street." The students in the gym stopped training. They turned to look at the stranger, and they also laughed. He really did look plain. Normal. Nothing special about him at all. Master Chen walked over slowly, folding his arms. He looked the young man up and down the way a jeweler examines a coin, quickly deciding it isn't gold. "If you want to train here," Chen said coldly, "you have to prove you belong. Show me what you know." The young man nodded, still smiling, still calm. Master Chen had seen this before. Overconfident young men who walked into his school thinking they were tough. He always enjoyed teaching them a lesson. "Deming," he called, "show our guest what real training looks like." Deming cracked his knuckles and stepped forward. He was a big man, broad shoulders, thick arms, trained for years under Master Chen. He had competed in dozens of matches and lost none. The students formed a circle. This was going to be quick, they thought. The stranger would embarrass himself and leave. Deming moved first. A powerful forward step, leading with a strong punch aimed at the young man's chest. The young man had moved, not backwards, not sideways, but slightly, just a few inches, as if he simply wasn't where the fist expected him to be. The movement was so small, so effortless, that half the students didn't even see it happen. Deming tried again. Another attack, faster this time. A combination of punches and a low kick. The young man didn't block. He redirected. His hands moved like water, gentle touches that guided Deming's force away, turning it against itself. Deming stumbled forward, surprised, barely catching his balance. The gym went quiet. The laughter was gone. Master Chen's expression changed slightly. He leaned forward. Deming, embarrassed now, attacked with full power. A rushing tackle meant to take the young man to the ground. In one fluid movement, almost too fast to follow, the young man stepped to the side, placed one hand gently on Deming's shoulder, and guided him straight down onto the wooden floor. Deming landed hard, flat on his back, staring up at the ceiling. The young man extended a hand to help Deming up. He wasn't even breathing hard. Master Chen stepped into the circle. His face was unreadable, but inside, something had shifted. In 40 years, he had never seen someone move like that. The economy, the precision, the complete absence of wasted motion. "Impressive," he said slowly. "But maybe Deming was having a bad day. Let me see what you can really do." The students watched in silence as their master prepared to face the stranger. Chun Wei moved with experience. He was not reckless like Deming. He was methodical, careful, reading the young man's stance and breathing the way a chess grandmaster reads a board. He launched a precise, controlled combination, years of Wing Chun mastery flowing from his hands. The young man met him. Every technique Chun threw was answered, not countered with brute strength, but neutralized with something deeper. The young man seemed to feel where each attack was going before it even arrived. He moved around Chen's strikes like wind moves around a tree, without resistance, without struggle. After several intense exchanges, Chun threw his most powerful technique. The students gasped. The young man moved once, a single, precise movement. He caught Chen's arm, gently, almost kindly, and turned the force back. Chun Wei found himself off balance, leaning, with the young man's hand resting lightly on his shoulder. One small push, and Chun would have gone down. The young man simply stopped. He stepped back, gave Master Chen space to recover, and nodded respectfully. The room was completely silent. Master Chen straightened up. His breathing was slightly uneven, something his students had never seen before. He looked at the young man for a long moment. Something in the way he moved, the way he combined different fighting styles, almost like he was creating something entirely new. "Where did you train?" Chen asked quietly. "Many places," the young man replied. "Under IP Man, in boxing gyms, in wrestling halls, on the street. I have always believed that the best techniques come from everywhere and belong to no single style." The name hit like a thunderclap. IP Man, the legendary grandmaster of Wing Chun, the man many considered the greatest martial artist of the century. "You trained under Ip Man," Chen said slowly. "Then you must be." The young man smiled. For the first time, Chun Wei saw something in that smile that he should have recognized immediately. A quiet fire, a contained power, a mind that was always 3 steps ahead. The air seemed to leave the room. The students looked at each other, eyes wide. Bruce Lee, the man they had seen in films, the man who had made the world fall in love with martial arts, the man whose speed, whose philosophy, whose whole approach to fighting had already begun to change everything. He had walked in through an ordinary door, in ordinary clothes, and none of them had known. Deming, still rubbing his back where he had landed, looked at the floor in embarrassment. Master Chun Wei did something he had not done in many years. Bruce Lee did not gloat. He did not raise his fists in triumph or remind anyone of what had just happened. Instead, he sat down with Master Chun and the students and talked for nearly 2 hours. He spoke about martial arts not as a collection of techniques, but as a way of living. He said that real strength was not about overpowering others. It was about understanding yourself, about removing what was useless, about being honest enough to keep learning, no matter how much you already knew. A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready, Bruce told them. Not thinking, yet not dreaming, ready for whatever may come. He spoke to the students who had laughed at him when he first walked in. He didn't embarrass them. He smiled and said. The students were silent, because they understood, not as a lecture, but as truth they had just witnessed with their own eyes. Master Chun, who had spent 40 years building a reputation, sat across from a man in a plain white shirt and realized something important. Pride had nearly made him blind. He had looked at Bruce Lee and seen nothing. But the real masters, in any field, rarely look the way we expect them to. Before Bruce Lee left that afternoon, he said something to Chun Wei that the master would repeat for the rest of his life. Chun Wei bowed again as Bruce Lee walked out the same ordinary door he had entered through. The next day, Master Chen took down the banner above his entrance, the one that read, "Only the strong deserve to stand here," and replaced it with something simpler. The lesson of that day was not about who won or who lost. It was about something much more valuable. The courage to stay humble, to keep your eyes open, and to never judge a person by how they first appear. Because the greatest people in history, the ones who truly changed the world, often walked through ordinary doors, in ordinary clothes, with nothing to prove. If this story touched your heart, give it a like and subscribe so you never miss another story like this.